Assembly Republicans say under their plan, more money goes back into the classroom than under Governor Walker's plan. However, Republicans in the Senate say this isn't the direction they want the budget to go in. Mayor says while the building will be demolished, he does have plans to preserve some of the history. Governor Walker and the chairman of Foxconn signed the memorandum here in Milwaukee. The chairman saying the tech company can now call Wisconsin home. Even though the rink is closing its doors to the public, it will still be used by the school. Governor Walker said this legislative session, his focus is going to be on the job force. Boucher also addressed the court, crying he told the judge if he could trade places with those he hurt, he would. Michelle, that's right. Some in the Senate are expressing concern about how fast this process is moving. The full assembly could vote on this next week. Dodger fans say they traveled from all over to be at this tailgate, many saying when they heard the game was at Lambeau Field this year, they knew they couldn't pass up the opportunity. Right now, Copper State is on track to brew 1,500 barrels of beer. This bill would help them expand their business in the future. I did speak with an employee following Trump's remarks. She said it was exciting to have the president here in Kenosha. Michelle, the governor spoke for about 30 minutes this afternoon, laying out his budget for the next 2 years. He decided to test out the crosswalk. All you do is have to press this button, and then you see the lights are blinking. Michelle, within the last 10 minutes, we've learned that fire officials will be holding a news conference in about 2 hours to update the media on this situation. Right now, the cause of the explosion is still unknown. Police cleared this scene at about 3 this afternoon. They say the body was discovered floating in the Fox River near the Mason Street Bridge. And as I mentioned, the fireworks show is starting here any minute now. And I think I'm in a pretty good spot to watch the show, so we're going to stay here. We'll catch up with you at 10 when we'll have a full recap of today's events. Live in Green Bay, Courtney Ryan, Fox 11 News. What started as a traffic stop Wednesday evening became the focus of a video that has been shared thousands of times on the internet. In the video, you can see an officer handcuffing a man and throwing him to the ground.
So many people make snap judgments about things. They don't have any context. They automatically think the police are doing something wrong.
Green Bay Police Chief Andrew Smith is defending the actions of his officers seen in the video. That officer, David Van Aram, is a 30-year veteran of the department.
I looked at this videotape. I think our officer acted professionally. I think he used a very minimal amount of force.
Chief Smith says the incident started when the officer tried to pull the man over for speeding. They say the man continued and drove here, and that's when the camera started rolling.
The individual exited the vehicle, refused to provide his identification to the officer, and refused to cooperate with the officer.
That's when Officer Van Aram attempts to arrest the man, who was later identified as 23-year-old Jesus Ramos Sanchez. In the video, Ramos Sanchez tells officers he has a broken collarbone, which you can hear upset some of the witnesses.
He ain't doing his job right. He ain't doing his job
However,
right.
while in custody, Ramos Sanchez said the injury happened nearly a year ago.
It just shouldn't have happened like that, how it happened.
Tiana Vasquez lives 2 doors down from where the incident happened. She says she was outside when the commotion started.
Not, grab him by his pants, give him a wedgie, how we did, put him on the ground, making a big scene out of it. That was not okay.
Chief Smith says Van Aram responded the way he's trained to.
This individual was unknown to the officer. The officer isn't aware that he may have a weapon.
Ramos Sanchez was arrested for resisting an officer. The department says the entire incident could have been avoided had Ramos Sanchez cooperated. In Green Bay, Courtney Ryan, Fox 11 News. Governor Scott Walker laid out his budget proposal for the next 2 years, and some lawmakers are saying while it looks good on paper, the real work begins.
Thank you.
Democrats and Republicans talked about the governor's plans for spending.
I don't think the picture is as rosy as it is. It was a very good political speech for a governor that is running in 2018.
He's definitely put us in a position where there's a lot of promises, a lot of things that he's funding here that have been asked for many different groups.
I'm pleased with a lot of the investments that the governor is committed to making, and really I think it shows the success that we've had over the past 6 years.
But Republicans and Democrats I spoke with say investing in K-12 education and higher education is a positive step.
I'm excited because we're investing more money in our public education, which I have been a proponent from since the day I got elected in 2012.
We've been talking for quite some time for the need to invest in education. invest in UW system. So we welcome some of those steps.
A top concern for both parties is the transportation budget, which is facing nearly a $1 billion shortfall.
A little disappointed that there wasn't more information on transportation, looking for a long-term funding solution for transportation. But overall, I thought the priorities he laid out were good.
Things like transportation, where we're borrowing more money, I think that's a non-starter for a lot of us.
Governor Walker's budget would also cut taxes and fees by $592 million, including $200 million in income taxes.
And I love that we were able to lower taxes in terms of that with doing all these other things as well.
We've got now several months to dissect it and fully understand what the proposal is.
Now legislators have about 6 months to debate and make changes to that budget proposal before sending it back to the governor for approval. In Madison, Courtney Ryan, Fox 11 News. The UW Marching Band, Cheer Squad, and Bucky all in town ahead of Saturday's game. On Friday, a sea of red covered the parking lot outside Titletown Brewing Company for Bucky's block party.
We're going to say, let the good times roll.
Fans sang along and even danced as the band pumped people up. Some fans say going to the Badgers away game has been a tradition, and they couldn't miss a game in Titletown.
We've had season tickets since 1971, and since we've retired now, we've been going to all the away games also.
Other fans, like Julie Björklund, made the trip to watch her son march with the band.
Playing the drums. Let's go drums! We're all about the band and UW.
Badger fans say they traveled from all over to be at this tailgate, many saying when they heard the game was at Lambeau Field this year, they knew they couldn't pass up the opportunity.
Green Bay is a great football town, and Lambeau Field's a great stadium, historical stadium, and it's going to be a great time, and go Wisconsin.
David Cortez, an alumni, says even though this isn't Madison, Badger fans are ready to show Green Bay how it's done.
They're going to bring it because they're excited, they're a ruckus crowd, and it's going to be a scene that's unbelievable.
And the block party wasn't only for Badger fans, LSU fans were also there.
The people here have been wonderful. They've been coming up to us and, hey, how you doing? Hope you're having a good visit, buying us beer.
Badger fans say they couldn't imagine a pepper rally.
It's been fun. We've been having a good time.
To get them more excited for Saturday's game. Courtney Ryan, Fox 11 News.